Well, shit. What are y'all doing? Have you
So,
followed him on Instagram?
who?
Leslie Jordan or Leslie
Oh,
Allen Jordan, how he likes to pronounce himself.
yeah. I didn't, but my family's like obsessed with him.
He blew up in the middle of this pandemic. He was like the largest shining light in the middle of this pandemic. Leslie Allen Jordan, and the only thing I've ever known him from was Will and Grace.
See, I know him from Boston Legal.
Really?
Yeah. Remember Boston Legal?
I'm old. It sounds familiar, but I can't say I do.
It had William Shatner and James Spader, and they were lawyers.
Ah, well, Leslie Allen Jordan played the little short non-gay gay guy on the show, and he was a flaming homosexual that claimed that he wasn't a homosexual, and I believe his actual character name was Leslie.
It's true.
Yeah, but Leslie.
I think you're right. I don't know. You know more than me.
Leslie Allen Jordan on Instagram blew up in the middle of this pandemic, and I mean, I hate to say it about an actor, but he seemed a little irrelevant prior to all of that. But I'm glad
he's old.
that
He's probably like,
I wonder how old he is.
he's got to be like 70 something. What is it with actors and like continuing to work like well into their 80s sometimes? Like,
He's
what is
65, and he may not have been. I think he had a late start in Hollywood, or I could be wrong.
That's like the mom in Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah.
That was like her first role. Was that? Yeah, but what is it with actors? Like what is Robert De Niro? Like, why is this man still acting? Like he could just retire.
He really could. I mean, he's got more money than Jesus.
And
at this point,
it's not like Clint Eastwood. Like where Clint Eastwood is like, it makes sense that Clint Eastwood is still doing it because he's making like very irreverent shit and like he's directing and like it seems like an artistic passion of his. Where like Robert De Niro is in like fucking, oh, look at Horny Grandpa 3,
Weird Grandpa. I mean, they do at some point,
the bucket list.
They do cross over into that, creep factor where they used to be a heartthrob and they're not anymore. It's so funny that you asked the question about actors that are kind of long in the tooth. Ranker.com, a website of note, actually last week released a list titled Celebrities Nobody Cares About Anymore.
Oh, come on. All right, let's hear it. Let's go down the list.
Well, we don't have to do all of them, but do you want to take
short list?
I'll give you the short list here because this is just the opening of the show. We'll give you the last 5. In the 5th spot, and this is Ranker Online, so people have the ability to vote. In spot number 1,
we just want to remind everyone to vote.
I do, but I'm sorry, not spot number 1, spot number 5, coming in at number 5, Bill Cosby.
Well, what can he do? He's in jail. I mean, who's next? Harvey Weinstein?
No,
R. Kelly, like, what the fuck?
Celebrities no one cares about anymore. Number 4, John Travolta.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, you got to give him a break, though. Didn't he just suffer a loss in his family? Didn't like his wife or somebody die?
I don't know, but like even before that, he was kind of. What's the last big John Travolta movie?
This is very true. Number 3, Cuba Gooding Jr.
That's true. Where is Cuba?
It's an island down in the tropics.
I knew you were gonna do that. Snow Dogs. That was my shit. No, dude. Cuba Gooding Jr. He was in that O.J. Simpson show like last year or 2 years ago or whatever.
He's 52 years old.
Yeah, that sounds right.
This one breaks my heart a little bit because I love this guy, but it's true. If I would have saw him on this list, I would have voted that I had forgotten about him. Chevy Chase.
Well, he's got to be in his 70s, right?
77 years old.
Yeah, I mean, give the guy a break.
And number one, according to ranker.com, actors nobody cares about anymore, Nicolas Cage.
Oh. Hey there, baby girl. We're gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
There are some names that pop up on this list. Like number 13 is Denzel Washington.
Yeah, whatever, man. He's still around.
I thought he's...
Nick Cage is still around. He still does things.
True. 14 is Adam Sandler. I kind of agree with that. No one cares about him anymore.
That's not true, though. He was in Uncut Gems, and that movie's incredible. That movie came out like last year.
This one hurts. Number 19, Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, that's true, but that's probably a choice of his, you know.
I think he did take a break. He may have taken a break. Most
of these seem like, you know, Eddie definitely seems, yeah, and we're on a first name basis. Me and Eddie, Ed.
Old Ed.
me and Ed. You know, I think just like Eddie Murphy is like, it seems like he's been through a lot of shit. And he's just like, I hate the industry. That's the vibe I get from Eddie Murphy. It's just like he hates the industry.
Well, and
he also has like 12 kids, I think.
Yeah. Well, speaking of people that may hate the industry, number 26, Will Smith.
I mean, he was in Aladdin last year, right?
Yeah, he was. I thought Will Smith was pretty still prevalent, but I guess it's not. This list isn't about the prevalency of these celebrities.
It's just about like people don't care about them.
Like people just don't care about him anymore.
I could see that. I mean, yeah, people don't seem to like Will Smith as much as they used to.
Ben Affleck, Charlie Sheen at number 40. I'm just kind of picking out some of the big names here.
That's true. I see what they're saying, because like, yeah, Ben Affleck is still around. He's still Batman. He's still doing his thing.
Yeah, but people don't care about him.
People don't like him that much. That's true.
What sucks about it is that not one Kardashian was listed, but then again, the list was celebrities.
They are celebrities. That is their job title. What is up, boyos? Welcome to the Jake and Cory podcast. I'm Jake. That is Cory. What is up, Cory?
What is up, Jake?
You know, a lot's up, Cory. It's been another rough week. It seems like every week's a rough week, honestly.
Right? Yeah, and let's just go ahead and let's throw in an earthquake, RGB.
Yep.
And what else?
RBG.
Yeah. Well, yeah, whatever. RGB, BGB. It's just Niecy Nash is gay. I mean, come on, 2020. What else you got? What the fuck else do you have, Niecy? 2020.
It's wild. Yeah, Ruth Bader Ginsburg passing is really crazy to me.
It just seems like this dude is just being the atmosphere is just giving him every opportunity to stay in power.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Because we were talking about it last week. If it comes down to the Supreme Court, he's stacking the Supreme Court now.
Yeah, it's crazy. It'd be a 6-3 if he gets to get another Republican in there. I mean, first and foremost, gone too soon, 91. So maybe not. Too soon, like a few months too soon, I guess.
Yeah, definitely a few months too soon. But 91 is definitely still a good run.
Yeah, she had a good run, and she did so much. She did so much for this country and the rights of people, and you know. I'm just sick to my stomach that I can't even mourn or feel bad for the passing
of Ruth Bentberg.
Got Porky Pig in here
because I'm focused on the fact that this is just going to give him is going to be another pleat in his cape.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to create himself another piece of his fortress.
Well, and she was so important, you know. I mean, first and foremost, like, it's not very often we get a woman in the Supreme Court,
right?
And she was important to women's rights as well. You know, she helped pass or what was it, Roe v. Wade, the Abortion Act, you know, and that's so important. And, you know, as soon as a Republican gets in there, you know they're going to overturn that, which is just a goddamn shame. You know, this happened right before Obama left. Supreme Court justice passed away. And the Republican Party, specifically Mitch McConnell, was like, we got to wait until the next election to see who decides who the next Supreme Court justice is going to be.
Yeah, I remember that.
Literally 8 minutes after her death, he tweets out, Mitch McConnell, same guy, tweets out, we need to replace her as soon as possible. Mainly because he knows, like, Trump he's probably not going to get reelected. Yeah, it's a fucking nightmare.
From your lips to God's ears, my brother. From your lips to God's ears. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just a crazy effing time. I was having a conversation with my best friend yesterday, and I don't watch The View very often. It's not appointment viewing for me. And yes, I sound like a 45-year-old housefrau right now. And
I only watch it for Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
So. I don't watch The View, but The View just happened to be on last week. And there was this African-American lady running for Congress or Senate, whatever, in Maryland. And Joy Behar, who's one of the hosts of The View, had her turn at a questioning, and this lady, this congresswoman who was an African American, had the nerve to say that Trump has done more for the African American community than she has ever seen in any president. And Joy Behar, of course, immediately just went into attack mode on this crazy bitch. And you know what? She was a black woman, and never have I ever been so angered at a black Republican more than I was at that lady. They threw every softball question at her about the fact that Trump has failed in parts of his job, and she just absolutely refused to point any blame on Trump. Any blame. She doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell. And then it was such a tumultuous interview, Joy Behar ended up just going to commercial right in the middle of her talking. And then she did that one smug thing that politicians do when they know they've just been handed their ass at an interview. They do that smile at the camera. Thanks for having me.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the problem with The View is they don't know how to keep themselves composed.
No, and like Sunny lost herself too.
It makes them look bad, and it just makes the entire dude. See, this is the thing. This is the thing with the Democratic Party that I fucking hate. Is, you know, when this happened to Obama, he's like, okay, well, I'll wait. Because I don't want, and his whole theory, and the Democrats' theory was, well, if it happens to us, you know, like where the Republicans get it, we don't want to, you know, if the tables are reversed, we don't want that to happen. But here's the thing. They're going to do it either way. Like, and this is why Democrats are so fucking dumb and why Republicans stay in power the way they do.
They get in there. The Democratic Party gets in their way sometimes. I think that they fumbled. I think they fumbled the impeachment.
Yeah.
I think they totally fumbled the impeachment. They didn't give themselves enough time. And Pelosi was saying at first, no, wait, don't do it. And then she got pressured into doing it. And we see how it ended. You know what I mean? So even sometimes the Democrat Party
right
gets
now
in
would
their
have been
own
a better
damn
time.
way.
Right now would have been a better time to do it.
After a pandemic, there would have been no argument.
There's so many things that we could impeach him on now too that are way more substantiated and probably have far more evidence that we don't need to be provided to us by Trump. Yeah, it's insane, man. Yeah, it's so frustrating. It's just like
it is. I can't drink anymore. I'm sleep deprived. I mean, come on. I can't focus. Yeah. This is ridiculous. And then it's not like it's going to be over on November 3rd. It's not going to be over on November 3rd. This asshat's not going to go off riding into the sunset. We're not going to have one of those 1 a.m. concession calls to the winner from this guy. That's not in his chemical makeup. It's not in his DNA. It's not going to happen. It's going to be an egregious, downright dirty fight. He's not going to go quietly. Now, I hope that I am wrong. And I hope that maybe he has exhausted himself where he just probably will say, fuck it, I'm out. Fine.
Yeah.
But all previous historical data on this cat does not say that he's one to go down quietly and bow out quietly. That doesn't seem like it's part of his character.
Here's my concern is, he keeps touting that, mail-in votes are bullshit or whatever. My concern is, Democrats are probably the ones who are being more cautious about coronavirus. That's a generalization, but I think that's pretty true. For the most part, Democrats seem to care more about the coronavirus, and so my assumption is more Democrats are going to do mail-in votes than going to the polls. So my concern is that they're going to count the votes from just going to the place and voting. They're going to count that, and Trump's going to win. And then they're going to count the mail-in votes, and then Biden is going to overtake, and Trump is going to say, "See, it's bullshit because the polls said that I won." And that's my concern is and then that's going to cause some sort of trauma, and they're going to have to do recounts, re-election or whatever, and it's just going to cause a stirry, and there's going to be all sorts of riots, and then Trump is going to say, "Look at the left rioting," and it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, I think that the dude literally would not be satisfied until there's a civil war.
Yeah,
I think that's
like his goal in life.
That seems like his goal in life is to get people to destroy themselves. And you're absolutely right. I heard you're not the only person that has said that. I've heard another podcast mentioning the same exact thing. The mail-in ballots. That's why here in Arizona, your mail-in ballots are coming soon. And when they get to you, fill them bitches out, mail then, and get those votes in. So ahead of the in-person elections, because
you're also running out of time to sign up for that shit. So
yep, you got, I believe, till the end of the month to do that.
I think it's the first week of October.
Right.
I could be wrong about that.
And I'm going to mention this website, even though we have no affiliation with this website whatsoever. And this is not a paid endorsement in any way. Vote.org is a website that isn't for any political figure. All it is a website where you can go and find out what the timelines are for your state. If you do need to do a mail-in ballot request, it'll also let you register to vote. And another thing, it will allow you to go in and verify that your voter registration is active and that you are able to vote. So vote.org if you have any questions. I've used it. It helped me clear up some things to make sure that I think I mentioned a few shows back that my voter registration was somehow terminated. And I didn't know anything about it, even though I voted in the last election. So vote.org helped me figure out some things. It's got every state down there and every state's policy and procedure.
How do you feel about third-party voting? voting for the third party. Joe Jorgensen seems to be the person. How do you feel about that? How does that make you feel?
Isn't the third party also known as the Tea Party?
No. Third party is always something different. Usually it's libertarian.
I haven't given it any thought, honestly. I didn't think that there was a third party candidate.
Yeah, Joe Jorgensen. So my thought on third party, normally, everyone is like, don't vote third party, it's a waste of a vote, blah, 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 blah. And normally I'd rail against that. Normally I'd say, that's bullshit, it's only like that because everyone says that, and blah, 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 blah. And I still stand by that. I think that's only a thing just because everyone says that.
Oh, she's a lady. She
is a lady, yes. So, but this time I feel a bit differently because this isn't the time for that kind of change. I would like to see that change, but this isn't the one. No. This isn't Obama versus Romney, where it's like either way it's going to be about the same sort of deal. Or this isn't, Obama versus McCain, where either way you're going to get a capitalist sort of dude.
Right.
It's not even Bush versus Gore. They're both capitalist idiots.
It's not even human versus human.
Yeah, this time it's capitalist idiot versus absolute fascist. I mean, that's Noam Chomsky has a beautiful quote about picking the lesser of two evils, and it's it's a morality thing. You want to see the lesser of two evils be elected. It sucks that it is the lesser, quote unquote, of two evils, but it is what it is, and yeah, I don't know. That's kind of my thoughts on third party, I guess.
I didn't know anything about Joe Jorgensen. I love her website though, Joe20. But I didn't know she even existed until you said something about it. Honestly,
libertarians are dumb.
She's 63 years old. Libertarian Party. I never knew anything about her. Never once until now. And she literally is listed on Google as the Libertarian Party's nominee for president of the United States in the 2020. Is she on the ballot? Will she be on the ballot?
In most states, I'm sure she will be. It's like, you remember Gary Johnson last time?
No.
Oh, well, Gary Johnson got 8% of the vote in Arizona last time, which is pretty high percentage.
Well, if you look at what's going on in Arizona, that's not surprising. And this is my home state. My home state is they call it the Valley of the Sun. I'm starting to think that it's maybe the Valley of the Knuckle Draggers, because I mean, this dude, God, this state drives me insane. It is so red. It is so entirely red right now. And any other red president, I'd be like, okay, fine. But this is like, you guys are just absolutely immoral.
Here's a great quote. Here's a great tweet from Conan O'Brien about libertarians, just to bring it back there for just a second. Bad news. The Libertarian Convention has been canceled due to participants' moms being unwilling to give them a ride. That's how I feel about the fucking Libertarian Party.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I feel you, dude. You're right about knuckle dragging, because that's kind of the perfect way to put it. Because they pussyfoot around it in Arizona specifically, because we are a red state, but we're also sort of like on the verge of not being a red state. And it's just like, yeah, knuckle dragging. They're just like, I can't, because I grew up Republican, I need to remain a Republican. I wear a cowboy hat and have a gun, so I am a Republican and must vote for Trump. And it's just like, no, dude, that's so dumb.
I mean, it's so dumb that I had a friend, a buddy of mine. I was chatting with him online. Jake, that's something that friends do. And he was telling me he was telling me that one of his neighbors put up a Biden Harris sign in her front yard. Yeah. And someone came and took the sign. And then there was another neighbor that put up a Rump Pence sign, and no one touched it.
Yeah.
So he went and put up a Black Lives Matter flag in his front yard, not political at all, and someone took it.
That's insane, dude.
I mean, this is in Arizona. This is in our backyard. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm chatting with him back and forth. He never ghosted me. I was chatting with him back and forth, and I was like, dude, you gotta be kidding me. This is literally what's happening. He says, yeah, they're doing this. So he said that he did a test, and he put out a Biden-Harris sign. Yeah. By the way, folks, these signs are like $11. Okay, these political signs that people put in their yard, you don't get those for free most of the time, unless you go to a rally or something of that nature, or if you make a large donation, then it just comes in the thank you for donating package. Okay, other than that, you can go to their websites and you can buy one of the signs and put it in your front yard. Hats, same thing. I know, I sell swag. Presidents are selling swag as well. So he orders himself a Biden-Harris sign and puts it out in his front yard. 2 days later, gone. So he said, wait a minute, I just didn't get a Biden-Harris sign. I also got a Rump Pence sign. He put the Rump Pence sign, bitch, still out there.
You know what he should try next? Now, this would be really interesting.
I'll chat him up.
Put a Confederate flag out there.
And he's black.
Yeah, well, still, just as like the experiment, to further the experiment. Although I'm sure his neighbors are kind of onto him at this point, but yeah.
Well, he lives in a very affluential area of Gilbert.
Yeah, that's weird. Gilbert. Yeah, that's the weird thing about Arizona is like certain sectors of it are. I don't know. It's a weird.
It's weird. It's a melting pot is what you're looking for. It's a melting pot. Like in my neighborhood,
it really is.
You drive around my neighborhood and there are Rump Pence signs and there are Biden-Harris signs, but the signage in totality in my neighborhood is very, very little. Very, very little. But what I do see more in the neighborhood, because I do venture out to drive my car around. I don't get out of the car or touch anybody, but I do drive my car around. I see lots of American flags and lots of Black Lives Matter support.
That's good.
In my neighborhood. And my neighborhood is predominantly white.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, and when we do this, I want to, when we pivot, I want to get into mask.
Pivot. Yes.
Mask.
I want to talk about that too.
Masking.
Yeah, interestingly, Arizona's this weird, like, sort of, I don't want to talk about Arizona too much because I fucking hate it. But
I do too, dude. I'm so done. And today
it's so
especially.
Hot. Why do we even live here? It's crazy. It's hot and everyone sucks.
That's so true, dude. I couldn't agree with you more. Arizona. You know what? I'm going to design a t-shirt that says, Arizona, it's so hot here and everybody sucks.
Yeah, it's not true, though. We just have a lot of fucking people here, man. It's
true.
It's like the 5th biggest city, right? I mean, shit. But we're like also like this giant fucking suburb. Like, we don't have a big city.
No.
Just this giant fucking suburb that
we don't even have a city line. We don't have a city line.
Like, yeah, Glendale goes into Peoria, into Phoenix, and it's a wild place. And like literally, it's like one street is like mansions, while the street over is like trailer parks. It's a weird fucking city. So I'd like to see change here. I guess that's like why I want to live here still, is because like I'd love to, and I feel it. At least I did in 2016, where I was like feeling a change. I'm feeling it less and less now, but like I was feeling like something happening, and then it just kind of died away. It's hard to stay in the know right now, though, as well, because of the lockdown and like, everything we're seeing is like online. It's this weird thing where like normally we could go out to crowds, we can kind of tangentially hear things.
Yeah,
and
put your ear to the ground and see what the hubbub and the buzz is.
Right,
it doesn't happen that way.
we're just kind of feeling it out online, which is, we
slighted
should all know it.
And contrived. Everything online has an agenda. It's contrived. Everything online.
Well, and everyone saying something online isn't actually thinking about what they're saying before they say it. It's like a faceless platform, So you got to take everything you see online with a grain of salt.
People flexing their online muscle.
Masks.
Phoenix
has been pretty good about masks. Something happened this week. Did you notice it?
No, I've noticed something though, Jake, and I'm going to do something that I don't think I've ever done on this show before. You know what? I'm going to give a round of applause to Phoenix, to Arizona. Okay. I'm going to give it to him. The reason why I'm going to give it to him is that, Jake, I went out. I had a dead battery in my car. And had to get roadside service to come to the house. That's what happens to car batteries here in Arizona. If you live in Arizona and your car battery lasts longer than 2 years, go play the lottery because you're a lucky person.
That's true. Just replaced mine, and it's already dying.
Yeah, and so I had to have my car, and I took my car to the dealership. I'm a dealership bitch. I don't ever take my car to Dante's Lube and Shack.
Mario's.
Yeah, I always go to the dealership. Every car I've ever owned, I've gone to the dealership, and I know people are going to say, Cory, you paid, triple the amount of money for dealership work, but my cars last until 300,000 miles as well. However,
and warranties.
I go down to the dealership and I'm looking around and everybody is wearing masks. I got the car fixed. I decided that, you know what, it's been a long day. I'm going to grab myself something to eat so I don't have to go home and fire up the kitchen. So I went to a eat-in restaurant, a gyro place that I haven't been, one of my favorite gyro places that I haven't been since the pandemic. And I walked in and they normally have seating for maybe 50 people in the inside. They had seating set up for probably 10 tables out of maybe 15 tables. Everybody in mask, everybody in gloves, blah, blah, blah. It's in a little shopping mall. So I drove through the shopping mall parking lot. I didn't see one person without a mask on. Yeah. I actually had to stop and get gas for the first time since March. Went to the gas station.
Well, no wonder your battery died.
Everybody there in a mask. I'm looking across the street in the Walmart parking lot. Everyone in mask. The next day I went and picked up groceries at Walmart. Everyone in mask. Everywhere I look, I have the only place I've seen a bare face is in people's cars. Mm-hmm. I see your lips in your cars, and that's fine. But outside of the cars, I even see little kiddies getting out of the car. Parents walking up to them, putting a mask on. I was at the dealership, and a family was coming back, got out of their car and was walking up to the front door of the dealership. I never went inside the dealership, my choice. Never went inside the dealership. Family walking up. Dad reached into his pocket, pulled out his mask, put it on. Mom reached into her purse, pulled out this little itty bitty little tiny little sample mask and put it on her son. And then she reached back in her purse, got her mask, put it on, and then they went inside the dealership. They did this all outside the door. I think something clicked or something somewhere, in my opinion, that everything that I've seen, Arizona has gotten the mask thing down, or at least they have in my neighborhood, because in my neighborhood, I haven't seen one person unmasked.
Well, let me say this. We have a state mandate to wear a mask. So I think ever since that state mandate has been put out, people have been pretty good about wearing the masks. I have to go shopping every week for work. So I kind of, I see what's going on. I live 30 minutes from my job as well. So when I'm driving, I see everything. Everyone's been pretty good. Yeah, you're right. In Phoenix, everyone's been pretty fucking good about wearing a mask. Something happened this week, though, and people are still pretty good. I'm wearing my mask. For the most part, everyone's wearing masks. But I've noticed this week in particular, something happened. The traffic is worse. Like, people are going out more. Walmart, that they normally had the line system where they were only letting like a person in at a time and everyone had to be at a distance. They got rid of that line system. People are just walking in now. They had at Walmart, they also had the through lines where it's like you go down this aisle and you can exit this side, enter this side. They got rid of those stickers.
Those are gone. I haven't been inside of a Walmart, so I don't know.
Yeah, so those are gone this week. That happened. But that also could be because no one fucking listened to that anyway. But I've also been, I went to, I have an addiction, Cory. I'm addicted to vaping. So I ran out of juice. I had to go pick up some juice, because I'm a edgelord and like to vape or whatever. It's so lame. It's so lame to vape. Don't vape, kids.
I gotta hook you up with my vape shop. There's some really cool cats. Even though I haven't been in there since the pandemic, I've been ordering on my vape online. But I'll have to hook you up with my vape shop.
Yeah, normally I go to this place. I like the place I go to, and they're pretty chill there. But I went to a different place.
Don't go to mine. You're not welcome anymore.
Oh, okay. But I went to this other place that's right next to my job to pick up some juice. And when I walked in, no one in there was wearing masks. The people walking in weren't wearing masks. Like, something happened this week that people are just like comfortable now.
Well,
which concerns me.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, things were going well, but now I think something changed, and Trump did just come. So
right, I was gonna say that the rump was in the desert. I believe
that's probably where the fires came from.
Mrs. Pence was in the desert as well. And the thing is, I think people are starting to get comfortable because we were seeing a downward trend. Now, I have some close personal friends of mine that work in the healthcare industry here in Arizona, and hospital ICU bed utilization is down. All the numbers, we're at lower numbers than we were at the beginning of the pandemic in April. Or when it really started picking up steam in April.
Right.
And I think people are taking that as a time to let their foot off the brake. You know what I mean? And it's not, because
this is the time to double down because we're so close.
Stay the course. We've got to stay the course. So I think what you're seeing, I didn't see any of that, but I don't challenge the fact that you did.
Yeah,
I believe it has to do with the fact that people are looking at the numbers and the numbers are going in a way where it feels like maybe I should be a little comfortable. The thought has even entered into my mind, Jake. I went into an inside eating establishment. You know what I mean? Yeah. I felt a little freer for a second. Now, I still wore a mask and I still, hand sanitized my entire face. But I even at one point I was feeling it. Dude, I had a friend over a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's even entering into my mind. And now I'm actually fighting mentally about having more people over because I miss people.
Yeah. Well, there's a balance, I think. Like, yeah, maybe you can have like a friend over.
That's all I have is a friend.
Yeah, like that's fine.
That's all I got is a friend.
Yeah, but like, having one friend over, going and visiting, your brother or whatever.
No, I'm not. His ass threw a 25-person 90s party at his house last weekend. 25-person 90s party. Because he was bored and he just wanted to see his family and his friends and stuff, and then had the nerve to send me a damn invitation. I said, "Boy, what are you serving at the party? COVID cupcakes? Or maybe you got some cold COVID just chilling in the cooler? Are you gonna be? What are you spinning on the? What songs are you playing? Are you playing anything from COVID Medina? What are you doing here?"
That's what I was gonna say. He is a DJ, so he likes. He's
an idiot, and he says, "Oh, well, I just did it because I'm over this pandemic." Just because you're over the pandemic doesn't mean the pandemic is over. And you end up sucking down COVID, and you end up buying the farm. I got to take care of my cute little adorable nieces. I'm not ready to do that yet. Can I get married first? Think about me before you go COVID sharing.
Yeah, for real.
Sorry, I'm off my soapbox.
No, it's cool. I get you. Like, yeah, because I think that is where people are. They're just sick of it. And I get it. I do. I totally understand.
I'm sick of it too, but that doesn't mean that I have to be stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, people were sick of Clinton and look what happened.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, just because of the plague, you're over it doesn't mean, like, I'm overpaying taxes, but I still do it.
Right. I was over Clinton years ago. And then look what happens when you let your foot off the brake, folks. We've got to stay the course. Come on, Arizona. We're doing good. Let's keep staying. And I know that I'm pumping you up and encouraging you now, Arizona, even though 15 minutes ago I called you all stupid. And you were all knuckle draggers. When you're dragging your knuckles in Arizona politically, at least keep your mask on and keep washing your damn hands and your face.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, it's not too late for you guys to join the right side of history.
Yeah, it's not too late. It's never too late. It's never too late. It's not too late to fix this shit. Let's fix it.
You may have said some stupid shit even yesterday. But you can think about it and be like, you know what, I was wrong. And that's cool. I do it all the time.
Everybody has their come to Jesus moment. Come on, Arizona. Like in the Baptist church, come to Jesus.
Yeah, man.
I've been seeing lots of masks in my area and where I've been in the North Phoenix, North Peoria, North Glendale area. I've been seeing lots and lots of mask on kids, mask everywhere. And you know what? It doesn't seem like anybody has had an attitude. Like when this thing first began and we were wearing masks. I remember someone yelling at me, government pet or something like that because I was wearing a mask and it doesn't seem like that anymore. It almost feels like the stigmatism of, and there's still those anti-maskers that are out there. I know it. If you want to know where the anti-masking community is, just look for any, Republican rally and you'll see them. But it's like, I see good signs of people trying to get this thing under control. So I tip my hat to people that are continuing to mask up. I mean, and masks have gotten so stylish now. They got Gucci mask out. You got mask with everybody's logo on it now. Hell, even Fat Guy Radio Show's got a mask. I mean, come on.
Speaking of trendy, have you tried the Travis Scott burger over at McDonald's?
I have not tried the Travis Scott burger. I did venture out last week and I did try something new, the beer cheese fries at Wendy's.
Oh.
And I should have remembered my experience from when they did the jalapeno cheese fries at Wendy's. Wendy's cannot do a smothered fry. They just can't do it.
I feel like their fries are not the right kind of conduit.
What they do is that they don't equate the salt. Their fries are salted. Their cheese is salted. And then and their fries by themselves, great. They're not perfect, but they're great. The cheese by itself on a burger, that's great. But when you put that salty cheese goop with their salty fries, and then they put bacon on top of that, which is also laden with salt and sodium, you just get nothing but a salt bomb in your mouth. And Wendy's can't figure that out.
See,
they never can.
This is the kind of quality content you get over here on the Jake and Cory show.
Food.
You get politics and you get Wendy's. And let me tell you something about Wendy's. I really like Wendy's fries because they're very potato-y.
I do too. They're the best potato-y fry in the fast food game.
I agree, man. And they used to have different fries back in the day. I remember. But like these fries, they're the shit. They're the absolute shit.
They are. And I mean, McDonald's has what I would classify as manufactured fries. There's probably a little potato in there, but there's more potato flavoring instead of real potato in the manufactured fries. Wendy's To me, it sounds like there is somebody back there, and this is going to be visual. I'll try to explain it. That is literally taking a russet potato, putting it up on this wall-mounted slicer, pulling down a handle like they do in In-N-Out burgers, pulling down the handle and slicing them bitches right into the cheese or right into the grease.
When I worked at Burger King, we had those for like tomatoes and onions.
Yeah, but not for fries because Burger King has the worst. Now Burger King doesn't have the real potato fry. McDonald's and Burger King doesn't have the manufactured potato fry. What Burger King has is the artificial, wants to be a French fry. They have the worst, but Burger King can slap me in the face any day with a bag of their onion rings. I love Burger King's onion rings.
That's not onion in there. I don't know what the fuck that is in there. It's just like some
onion
mushy,
adjacent. It's
way too mushy to be an onion. Like,
no, not if you get them fresh, man. And they just built a brand new Burger King by my house, and everybody in there is doing everything by the book right now. So everything is fresh. I used to work at Burger King,
and we would make them fresh, and those are not onions in there. I don't know what the fuck it is. Like when you eat an onion ring, the onion should like pull out when you're eating it.
Yeah, it's not Red Robin.
I don't know what the fuck that is in there. It's some sort of goop. Now,
goop onion rings, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, McDonald's French fries to me are like they're like pop music, you know. They're like the Britney Spears of French fries, right? The Travis Scott of French fries.
But they're not real. They're not real potatoes. They're not.
Yeah.
Actually, they say that they are, and I've actually seen on how it's made on the Discovery Channel. They showed how McDonald's makes their French fries, and it is potato, but the way that they process them, they process out all of the potatoiness.
Yeah, they spray some shit on it, and I don't know.
It's double fried, double cooked, freeze, flash frozen, shipped, and dipped again.
Wendy's is like your no. It's like a Billie Eilish, where you know it's still manufactured, it's still pop music, but you know it's a bit more palatable.
And Burger King's French fries are like, let me guess.
They're like Nickelback.
A carrot top.
Yeah, they're like they're the Nickelback of fries.
Completely overdone. Love you, Carrot Top.
They're rock music, but like the shitty rock music. You know?
No, they're rock music, but like the karaoke digital remake of rock music.
I've never shared this before, but when I was a little kid, I used to think French fries were deep fried mayonnaise.
Yeah, you know what? You've had that conversation with me, not on the show, but you've had that conversation with me in talks back when we used to be friends. And you shared that, and I was
Cory.
like, you've got to be kidding me. You thought it was mayo, and I thought it was the cutest thing ever.
Yeah, when I found out they were potatoes, it blew my mind. And it made me like it made me like potatoes more, actually, after I found out they...
Now, I love talking food. Burgers. What fast food place are you rolling through for burgers? Because McDonald's, you can hit me in the face all day with their French fries. I want to take their French fries and stuff them down my pants. They're so delicious.
Yeah, when they're fresh. Yeah,
when they're fresh, you know. And I love McDonald's French fries, but the McDonald's Big Mac, the McDonald's burgers, even their new quarter pounder burger, it's all garbage. I mean, it's just ridiculously horrible. So
and it gets worse all the time, too.
And they're getting smaller. They're getting. I mean, I remember Big Macs used to be actually, I don't know, big. Not anymore. They're like sliders. They're not a Big Mac. It's a slider Mac. That's
just you getting bigger, Cory.
Possibly so. Thank you, Jake. So where do you go? If you wanted to hit up your favorite restaurant for a burger?
Let's start with you. What's your go-to?
Believe it or not, the one place that gets down on the burgers for me that I can go to, it's two places. I can eat a Wendy's freaking #1 burger every day of the week.
Yeah.
I can also hit Sonic with a supersonic cheeseburger with green chilies on it any day of the week. I love that freaking burger. And if I was out for a threefer where I'm having a really good fat day, I'm throwing in the double Whataburger burger at Whataburger.
My guy. Dude, okay, so like I was going to say, Wendy's is usually pretty solid. I don't think they have the best burgers, but they're always consistent.
I like the Wendy's that I go to, not to cut you off, the Wendy's that I go to has really fresh produce on their burgers. Like when I get a burger from them,
tomatoes are always good.
It's always, the tomatoes are cold, the lettuce is cold, and the cheese is just on that, just entering the melting tunnel.
Yeah. No, I agree. And yeah, Wendy's is always, it's consistent. They've got the chili there, which is also pretty dank. So Wendy's, I fucking hate Sonic.
I know.
Because I've had some bad experiences there. Like, I think it used to be good. Something happened, man. Like, their quality control just, like, went down the tubes.
I agree. It seemed like they changed distributors somewhere. Because even the burgers, even though, yes, I still like the burgers, their bread changed. Something happened in their bread. The ingredient it used to be stern. It used to be it used to be able to support their burgers. It doesn't do that anymore. Like I had a chili cheeseburger prior to the pandemic earlier in 2020 when I still had hope. And that took that burger out of that foil pocket. And I was like, before I got like 2 bites into the burger and my fingers go from holding bun to holding nothing but meat and cheese and sauce now. I'm like, where the fuck did the bun go? So something definitely changed in Sonic, but prior to that, I could get down with that green chili, but Whataburger though, man, they're you know what? Whataburger's fries also give McDonald's a pretty good run for it. And what I love so much about Whataburger's fries is that they give it to you in a little square bucket.
You know what the problem with Sonic is? They've got the problem that the Cheesecake Factory has.
Cheesecake Factory.
Their menu is just too big. There's just too much shit on there. Like, it's going to be shit when your menu's that big.
That's true, but you can hit me in the face with a supersonic breakfast burrito any day of the week.
I was gonna say In-N-Out because that's a West Coast thing. I want to say, I want to keep it, worldwide. I don't know. Is Whataburger
Whataburger's West Coast too? You do not have Whataburgers in the East.
But yeah, I fuck with Whataburger, dude. Whataburger is like Sonic, but it is actually good.
Would you go through Whataburger just to grab a box of fries?
Oh, hell yeah, dude. They've got that spicy ketchup there, too.
Yeah, dude, the spicy ketchup. Oh, dude, man, I've done that a couple of times with my photographer.
And they've got those big boxes of fries, too.
Yes, they give it to you in a fry bucket. I love that.
I'll stop there for dinner, and I'll just get fries and, like, a milkshake.
My photographer for B2B Radio Network, he'll do anything for a large size of fries from Whataburger. We were working on some pictures late one night, and Whataburger is open 24 hours. This was, pre-COVID, back when I still had hope. And he was like, dude, I'm starving. I'm like, well, there's nothing really open. He's like, Whataburger is open. And the Whataburger up by my house is ran by crackheads. So it's always an entertaining event when you go to this Whataburger. So we went to Whataburger and we literally spent $15 on nothing but fries and a Whataburger Jr. And that was for me. Everything else was all French fries. And we literally had what seemed to be a 5-pound bag of potatoes cut into Whataburger fries. And he sat there and he destroyed every last one of those fries before not one fry had a chance to get cold before he inhaled them. And I asked him, I said, dude, did you even taste the fry? I mean, you were just like, he was like a freaking Whataburger fry vacuum.
Oh, yeah, man. Whataburger's great.
Whataburger rocks, man. People sleep on Whataburger. Honestly, people sleep on Whataburger.
Whataburger has this quality, though, that I find quite endearing, where, like, you don't know when you get Whataburger, and when you're eating it, it's usually pretty good. But you don't know until later if you're about to have intense diarrhea, because it's a definite possibility if you're getting Whataburger.
Whataburger has the Taco Bell effect. Speaking of Taco Bell, just a side note, I tried their new $5 Taco Bell nachos box because Taco Bell has like been the only place that I've been frequenting. You notice how I come alive when we start talking about food. Taco Bell is the only place that I've been frequenting throughout this whole entire pandemic. It's the only fast food place that continues to give me hope. And I go to Taco Bell because they stuck the card machine out of the window and you just slip your card in. They never even touched your card. Well, they stopped doing that because the Arizona sun was beating up their credit card machines and destroying them. So now they make you put it in a little tray and then they take it in the store. But nevertheless, I tried their $5 nacho thing and I found out that their refried beans at Taco Bell, I found out the secret ingredient. The secret ingredient has to be cement. Those are the worst effing refried beans I've had in my life. I mean, I'm sitting there and I got a chip that is embedded in this refried beans, you know? So I reach for that chip and I'm like, I'm gonna get me some refried beans on my nachos. I pull that one little corner of a chip and the whole damn block of refried beans came with that one chip. So now I'm holding this one single chip with this cement quality refried bean glop on top of it. I'm like, this is disgusting. What the fuck is wrong with Taco Bell's refried beans? They almost resemble horse shit. I'm just being honest here.
Yeah, the thing with fast food places is it depends.
It's hit and miss.
It doesn't depend on the fast food place. It depends on which location you're going to sometimes. Because there are certain Taco Bells I go to and I'm like, this is going to be bomb, and I know it because this place is always consistent. And then other places that aren't.
I don't think my go-to Taco Bell menu item is the number 9, the chicken chalupa. It's one of the most the more expensive items on the list. I think it's like $9.79 or something like that for 2 chalupas and a taco and a soda. But dude, you know what? I know I have McDonald's French fries in my underoos. You can put a Taco Bell chicken chalupa down there too. I love their chalupas any day of the week.
It's all about that beefy 5-layer, son.
No,
beefy 5-layer, son. It's so good every single time. It's got that cheese, and then, you know, if you want to top it off with a beefy 5-layer and a fucking Crunchwrap Supreme, ooh, baby.
I'm not gonna cook it with grease. I'm not gonna downplay your beefy 5-layer burrito. I agree with you, but in my book, it doesn't trump the chalupa. But I will tell you,
cheese sauce.
I will tell you what does trump the chalupa and the beefy 5-layer burrito in my book.
Gina.
No, it's not even on the menu at most Taco Bells. The Mexi Melt.
Oh, dude, I remember the Mexi Melt.
It's still there. You just got to ask for it. It's like a In-N-Out burger secret menu of Taco Bell where you go up and you order. And what I love so much about the Mexi Melt is that the Mexi Melt's a little bitty little like mini taco, soft shell taco, and you just can roll it up like a blunt and just dip it into like your hot sauce. And dude, I used to throw down Mexi Melts because they're portable. You can hold them in the car. They don't leak so much where it gets all over the front of your shirt where people think that your face is leaking. Dude, the Mexi Melt. Go to your Taco Bell and just ask for it. It's not on the menu, but it's there.
Fat Guy Radio Show.
That explains why I have the show, because, you know, food.
So I wanted to bring this up on the show again. We talked about it last week, but it's just really been bugging me. And I wanted to bring it up again. Just for a small segment here, because I have more things to say about it. Last week we talked about Cuties. You remember that?
The oranges.
Yeah, Cuties the oranges, but also Cuties the movie, the French movie.
Yeah, the Netflix thing.
And I've just been seeing a lot of people like trying to justify this online, and some of the justifications are, you didn't care before, so why do you care now about, you know, child abuse and pedophilia and stuff? And that is just such a disingenuous argument, and also totally counterintuitive. Who gives a shit what sparks people's interest in being against pedophilia, but I think just being against pedophilia is good in general. I saw one argument, and if you want a deeper dive on what this whole cuties thing is, you can listen to last week's show. But one argument I saw was there's so many documentaries about, animals being slaughtered inhumanely and blah, blah, blah. What makes that okay and this movie not? Because, ultimately the moral of this movie is that sexy children is wrong. And my argument to them is, one, not a documentary. Two, not about animals. So false equivalence, first of all. Second of all, that's like saying you're making a fictional movie about the inhumane treatment of animals, and while filming that movie, you kill a bunch of animals. It doesn't make sense. It's not a good argument, and if you're going to make that argument, maybe think and don't. And maybe, stop being a pedophile.
That's a horrible argument. Because when people are saying that, you make movies, dude, Blackfish was a movie about SeaWorld, and it damn near bankrupted SeaWorld. You know what I mean? So yeah, there are movies that are out there, but dude, the only reason why people are more
a documentary, yeah,
it's a documentary. People are more passionate about cuties because we've never experienced something on such a global scale of release for something. So I think that people humanistically, unless you're really screwed up in the brain, normal thinking humans have a problem with pedophilia. So now that you've released this movie on a global scale, of course the globe is going to respond to it because they're like, wait a minute, we've always felt this way. It's just not because this movie came out. This is something that is embedded in every right thinking human.
Yeah. And there's so many different ways you can show it. Like, I don't think it's necessarily wrong what the movie is and what it's trying to say. It's the way that it's shot and the way it exploits these kids that's wrong. And you could have worked around it. You could have gotten older actors. You could have gotten, even that is kind of weird. You could have shot around it though, for sure. Where it's like,
there are older actors out there that seem like they're younger. They appear younger. I mean, it happens all the time in Disney.
Yeah, well, they're supposed to be 11 in this, so the older actors would be 16, which is still wrong. But it brings me to another point, and I mentioned because we rail on the right a lot here, the Republicans, and earlier I was railing.
I think we rail more on the Trump supporters than we do the Republicans, honestly.
Sure,
but that's just
No, yeah, that's for sure, yeah, Trump supporters, whatever. But earlier I kind of, I made a little jab at the left for being just fucking, they pussyfoot around things, and this is why Republicans are still in power. But here's another thing that left-wing people do that annoys the shit out of me. They see that Republicans or Trump supporters are against something, and they automatically just assume, well, I should be for it. And I think that's what's happening here with cuties, because Republicans and Trump supporters are like, this is wrong. And I've seen a bunch of, I'm not to generalize, but I've seen a lot of, liberal pundits and people say, well, Republicans like, Little Miss Pageants or whatever. So what's so different about that and this movie? And it's like, yeah, good point. But also, this movie's fucked up, and I think you're getting away from what we're talking about here. You know what I mean? And
so you're saying that you're seeing people be adversarial, or some people just be adversarial for the sake of being adversarial because it just happens to be someone that has a different political signature.
Yeah. And, we see this.
That's stupid.
We see that on the right all the time, and it's what we complain about the right all the time is, they see that Democrats like something, so they automatically hate it. And it's like, well, you guys are doing the same thing. This is something we could come together on and be like, you know, this is fucking stupid, you know? Because I do think that's like part of why BLM has become sort of hated by the right, is just because it's a big liberal movement. But really, it shouldn't be a liberal movement. It should be
a movement.
Yeah, it should just be a movement. Just like hating cuties should just be a universal hatred.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's bringing, man, I guess I could go on and on about this, but yeah, there's these things called MAPS. I forget what it stands for, but it's like people who are pedophiles but haven't acted on it. They're like sexually attracted to kids, and like they're coming out of the woodwork for this. And this is the problem with cuties. It starts to normalize that behavior, and that's just not okay. Yeah. And to say that we didn't care about, you know, pedophilia before is just totally disingenuous, because has everyone forgotten about Epstein?
Yeah.
That was a whole fucking thing for a long. Has everyone forgotten about the Catholic Church and how big a deal that was? Like,
I see commercials for those class action lawsuits all the time.
Yeah,
and the Boy Scouts of America.
Yeah, it's so disingenuous and not true. Like, people do care about it. And you know what? If this is the thing to make people start caring about it, then good.
I think this is what you're saying. What you're explaining, Jake, is what has gotten us into the position that we're in now in this country, is the fact that people can't see beyond their quote unquote party lines. When did party lines have to do so much with our morality, our humanity? You know what I mean? Your party lines were more about you supported this party, or you were part of this party because you believe that party is going to do what you think is best for this country. When you see someone that is just on the opposite end of on the opposite side of the aisle, doesn't necessarily mean you have to hate everything that they like, and vice versa. I think that's why we're in the situation that we're in now.
Well, and we could take it beyond that even, you know, like even if it's like someone who is a fucking murderer, right? Let's say this man has killed, or a woman has killed, you know, hundreds of people or whatever. And this person's like, but I hate pedophilia. We could be like, you know, that guy murdered a bunch of people and he sucks, but I got to give him that.
Dude, you know? It happens all the time. Have you ever been, if you go to jail as a pedo,
yeah,
even murderers, rapers, people that have cheated, robbed, stealed, they will kill your ass in jail if they find out that your ass did something to a child. Even the most hardened criminals are against pedophilia.
Yeah, I guess my whole point here is I just want people to think a bit more critically before they start spewing shit out, you know? Just
it doesn't think about it anymore, man. It does. Yeah. And I'm hoping that it'd be restored someday, but dude,
we all have stupid takes sometimes, you know. I'm sure I've said this is our 33rd show, and I'm sure on one of those shows I've said something stupid that I regret. But
is this really our 33rd show?
It is. We've been going for a while, friend.
I gotta find something else to do.
Yeah, but you know, like I'm sure I've said something stupid, and like that's fine. But you gotta like own up to your mistakes, admit when you're wrong.
Yeah,
you know.
And then sometimes, but Jake, things that you've said and things that I've said, we've also said for tongue in cheek, for entertainment shock value. I mean, I'm a radio DJ at heart. You know what I mean? I have a hot talk formatted show. I say things to get a response out of people. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's not the most popular thing. But it's for it's for the sake of entertainment at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, so fuck that movie. Fuck pedophilia. I mean I hope
even my pastor gave a hint or dropped a clue on last Sunday, where he says, you know, cancel your Netflix. He said it in jest, but he was really saying it. He was really making a statement. I thought that was interesting.
And you know what? We wouldn't have to cancel our Netflix if Netflix, and like I think everyone would be on the same page if Netflix was just like, you know what, you guys are right. We're gonna pull this movie. You're right. This sucks. but they didn't, and that's why you should cancel your Netflix. Is because And I am a firm believer in free speech. I am. I believe in free speech, but I also believe in the court of public opinion. And I think the public has spoken. Take that movie off your fucking platform. We don't need fucking pedophilia. We don't need to be providing pedophiles fapping material. You know what I mean?
And we also,
just
the public spoke in 2016, and we saw how that ended.
Amen, my brother. Go vote.
Please.
Cory, thanks for joining me. I love you. Your beard's looking great, by the way.
Thanks, Jake.
Just want to say, I like your hat. It's looking very clean and fresh. Your skin is looking flawless today. Not a pimple in sight.
New light position. Thank you.
Check out this show every week. I mean, it may end now. Cory wants out, I guess.
I didn't say I wanted out.
Yeah, thanks. We got a new show coming soon. Check that out as well. Should be dropping next month, early next month. Keep an eye out. Click the bell so you get the notifications. Bye-bye.
Do you like my hat now?
It's a good hat. What's it say? I can't read it.
It says Black Lives Matter.
Oh, the light was flashing it. I like that it says.
I realized that after I put it on.
It says Black Lives Matter in white.
Yeah.
Ironic. I already ended the show, so.
Oh, you stopped recording?